Exposition 2.
God.
The Vessel of God.
So that was 2 hours, so we'll get through one chapter, it looks like. I wonder how many there's going to be in the game,
Come
period.
now, Sir
I'm
Shin.
almost afraid to
Please
look.
wake up. It is morning.
Yeah, I will say that I will go through one more dungeon, give you all one more moral choice. Again, kind of see what's going on.
Okay.
Then I'll probably call it there.
Sure.
Because we've been streaming for a little bit.
Yeah, we did about an hour for Darkest Dungeon, too.
Something like
About
that, yeah.
yeah.
There's gotta be a better way.
Gotta be a better way.
Come now, Sir Shin. Please shape up. You will not be able to retain anything if you are half asleep.
Shape Shin.
Today is the first day of your training.
A balanced breakfast. Part of your balanced breakfast.
Now remember, this is a balanced breakfast. Also, I love that reaction that Shin has.
A grand feast.
Yeah, white rice, miso soup, crispy bacon, fried eggs.
Now, I gotta say, Shin is no longer my bro. If the first thing he thinks it looks delicious on a breakfast spread is the soup and not the bacon.
Salmon, vegetables, and radish. I don't know if that's a balanced breakfast or not.
Well, sure, it's balanced with meat, with a vegetable, and with a starter.
Could have some milk or fruit or something. Some of the other things that make a balanced breakfast. Good. I'm just saying.
Because in my mind, a balanced breakfast is balancing out some cereal with a balance of milk. So.
Let's be honest, your idea of a
Surely
balanced
improve your
breakfast
strength as
is
God.
making sure that both hands
Put
are on
my
the
all
sausage
into
biscuit.
cooking
Yeah, that's
meal.
true too. Yeah, I had, and it's kind of funny, just in time for last Friday with Rune Factory and the food discussion, but I finally got some room in our kitchen to unbox a griddle and make stuff with that. And yeah, it was pretty good. I'm one of those people that I don't mind
Now then,
doing more
let us
for. I
begin
think I
our
even mentioned that in Rune Factory. That I don't mind doing a fair bit of stuff for making a fair bit of food, rather. But I'm lazy, so if I can't do it efficiently or quickly or something like that, then I'm not going to be as interested. That's part of the whole reason why I don't really do anything too dramatic with lots of sides and everything, because it's just not worth the hassle.
Jubio? Are you, like, dieting?
Not at all. This is what I usually have for breakfast.
Yeah, part of the problem too is that we're going to
I have
move
lived
into
a
the
life of
mandatory
running away from
training
devils.
montage. I
Under
think pretty
those
soon.
conditions,
They do
food
the
storage
over the
was
top,
less than ideal.
for just how much
Meaning
work it takes and everything.
luxury was not my
And
ally.
basically, here's the thing: it's like if people
Then
can
what's with
push
my
themselves
breakfast?
into a crazy amount of work
God is
and
special.
muscle building and exercise and stuff like that.
No,
But
I'm
you
not.
have to basically
After
you
hearing
have
you
to
say
have
that,
the fuel in the
Even
engine.
though you made all this
And
food,
it's like, I remember
gonna
reading
lose
this
my
thing
appetite.
on Michael Phelps for the Olympics.
I don't have that much
And
resolve.
how the guy would basically have 8,000, it would go through
No,
8,000
you
calories
must
a day and still be in
After
great
all,
shape because he
my
just did
God,
that much
You
swimming
must
and
make
training.
sure you digest enough
And
nutrients.
it's like, okay, I get that for Shin if he's going to be doing
Now
all
please
kinds of
do
stuff.
not
He eats a lot of
hold
food and
back.
everything.
You must eat.
The same applies to Jupio,
Or- Perhaps my cooking was
Yeah,
not
it
to
might
your
be a little
liking.
bit different because we don't know how angels get their energy or whatnot.
Right.
Presumably, though, they have to get it from food.
Yeah,
so
because she is eating in the first place, right?
Right. Although
Then-
I'm willing to bet that at least part of it is her just wanting to spoil
Please
Shin a
wait,
bit.
Sir
Right.
Shin. You must say thank you for the
Itadakimasu.
food before you eat.
Okay.
Bless me.
I admit, part of me did actually want to have her
Yes.
say that, he
And
has to say the
the
blessing
food.
over the food, and yeah, Shin has to bless himself.
Right. I'm in grade school. Yep, it's yummy.
Delicious.
The big smile on him, though.
That isn't a smile.
Well, the last thing was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It has kind of hurt the whole war footing and stuff like that. Because this is their god and everything, but he's still
Sir
like
Shin,
a surplus of
you
food. Are the
left
first
one
things to
grain
go.
of rice. I have heard that 7 gods reside in each grain of rice. You must not forsake them.
Hey, Phoenix.
Hey, Phoenix. You must not forsake the 7 gods. Now eat them.
Eat them.
Yeah, that is a very good point. It's like when you are on war footing. Like I remember hearing a lot of this for the
Hey, I'm coming in,
the war
Jippy.
stuff that I've been listening to, because a lot of that was during World War II.
Miss
And
Aria,
yeah, you know,
can we help you with anything?
rationing and things like that, the extravagant stuff
No,
always goes first.
I just
Right.
came for his follow-up.
And it's always,
Let
you
me
know, they
borrow
focus
him
more
for a
on the
little while.
staples
It's
and
time for his
making sure that stretches
examination.
as far as possible.
Mhm.
So yeah, you know, you could still have things like miso and rice because that's pretty, you know, pretty efficient. But things like salmon or whatnot, especially on a floating city,
Right.
No, he cannot go with you. Sir
Sir
Shin is going
Shin,
to
clean your
begin
plate
his
or no
training.
dessert.
Besides,
Mom.
he still hasn't finished eating. What are you saying? You might have been able to observe him thoroughly all night long, but I couldn't. I had to be content
Like
with
she
the output
hasn't.
data sent
Yeah, I
by
was
the
about to say,
crystal.
like she can't spy
I
on
can't
him.
stop thinking about his sudden spikes in heart rate. Let me examine him.
Kind of amusingly, if you go with Ariel's route, when Shin wakes up, Ariel is actually perched over him to watch him wake up.
Mhm.
It's pretty amusing.
Anyway, it is already time for his training.
And of course, instead of a
Please
delicious
leave.
meal, you
Your
get
examination is going
ramen.
to take a lot of time.
Instant noodles. Oh,
Fine
yeah.
then.
Well, next time you in
However,
a second, can you
The time will
see what's on the
come
bottom
when
of the
you'll
line?
have to let go of Kamikaze once and
Oh,
for
like
all.
butterflies. Okay.
Yep. I also like that Gazi edition that she has from the corset down.
Ah,
Until that
Yeah, she
time
dresses
comes,
in layers and it's pretty
go
neat.
frolic
Right, right.
with these stuffed animals as much as you can. I'm not as soft as Joopy. Adieu.
Frolic with these stuffed animals.
this one goes back a little bit to the whole English dub stuff like that.
Let us not
But there
concern
was a
ourselves with
kind of
Miss
a
Ariel for
cutesy.
now.
We were
And
talking
let
about the
us head over
Tenchi
to the
Muyo
plaza,
series
Sir
earlier that we were
Please
kind of
hurry up
into when we were younger, and they did a spin-off Magical Girl series. And yeah, I made the mistake of watching the English version of that one, and there's a horrible delivery from the villainess of like, adieu, goodbye. Oh. Laura said, both of these girls are annoying. Can we date someone else? Like maybe the older sister.
I admit that I was a little bit fond of Eri, the girl from the very start,
Right.
but nope, these are the two you've got. These are not the girls that you want. They are the girls you
deserve. Now the thing with Letitia and Eri is like it is one of those things where I don't know whether to assume they're implying or trying to hint at something, or if it's just a flaw with the delivery or a flaw with the system. It's kind of like in Persona 4 with Naoto. It's like I could tell very early on that there was a woman voicing her. That's probably what they were going for. But it's like you were early enough in those series of games that, okay, did they just screw it up? Yeah, did they just screw it up? And like, that was supposed to be a guy. I wasn't sure. This one, it's like, I was wondering if Eri and Letitia are supposed to be the same character because their face looks so similar. And she has this kind of obviously important Shin at the start.
Right.
Come on, Sir Shin.
It's
You're
like, yeah, is it
slowing
that or is
down.
it because the artist
Please
is limited?
put more spirit into it.
I don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
God training. You wouldn't last 5 seconds against Olkadon before he tries to go up against another god.
I still think that was one of my best lines for any game. Try another god.
Right. Not this one.
It's like I joined the military or something. It's like
Yep.
I'm at war
Or something.
or something.
Some countries do indeed have mandatory military involvement.
Yep.
Yeah. Israel's probably one of the most famous ones.
Right.
Got 2 years in the IDF.
Too slow. Do not rely on your
I think I
powers.
mentioned like that one of the
Depending
Dark
on your
Souls streams.
immature power
That a
level
guy
will eventually lead
that
to your
I
downfall.
met on Dark Souls 1 and Steam. It was Taiwanese, and they have mandatory military service, unless you have some exemptions, which were like engineering school and certain other things that that you could do instead. Talking about that.
Or says everything they say gets filtered through the creepy part of the brain. I admit, I'm kind of starting to get the same way too. It's good gosh.
There's a lot of game left to go, folks.
Right. I feel rather sad and pathetic. As you should, God.
Hey, I just want to ask to make sure. Is this what we're gonna do every day?
Of course. You are quite a quick learner, so you are worth teaching. I believe you will become a splendid god in no time.
Wait a minute, so they're making God in their image?
Thanks for the compliment.
Ooh.
I feel more like I've earned a failing grade so far. So, what am I
You do
gonna
have to
do
give them
after
some props for bucking up and doing it.
Right.
You probably could have just said
To be
no,
honest, that has not
like
yet been decided.
you did to
If you would like,
Ariel.
we could
Yeah, that's the
continue
thing.
with
It's
your training.
subtle, and it's funny because you can tell the author didn't or the writer didn't realize they had done
That
this. so it
sounds
was
like
really
a great
exposited
plan.
by
Right.
pages. But yeah, this is one of the first times
Hi,
where he
Emily.
actually,
Training
actually
recklessly does
forces
not produce
himself
positive results.
to meet the expectations of others, so saying, "I don't want to do it."
Don't
Right.
joke about that.
And it's like, yeah, it's subtle, but it's there and it's very neat. I kind of wish
What
the
was that
writer
shaking
wasn't
just
paying as
now?
much attention to everything else, because there's some potential there. It's just,
Right.
uh,
Devil Attack. There's a band or possibly an album name.
What?
Devil Attack.
This Celestia is constantly on the move. We are currently traveling through crystal response space.
The
in
crystal
stealth
response
mode.
space. Yeah, but yeah, it's. I guess he does have to go chalk it up to some other dimension or something that just happens to look like Earth. Yeah, we quite clearly saw the moon in that previous shot.
right.
Some kind of technology. I like
They're traveling with
Celestial
their
always be in the same
engines are powered
place?
by pure hand waving.
right. Yeah, I liked in
Yes.
Mass Effect 1 how they
Though it
just
is
kind
quite
of
shameful.
made
We are
this
constantly
very
on the move to
sensibly
prevent
acknowledged
devils
that
from finding
it's like,
us.
yeah, I mean, you
It is
can't do
for
anything
everyone's
to
sake.
make a cloaking device invisible to normal sight, or like to make a ship stealthy to normal sight. Who cares about that? You're worried about sensors and computers. And if you can just hide from that, you're probably still good to go. But yeah, I mean, people can look out your window and see you, but how often is that actually going to happen?
That said, I find it kind of amusing because making a cloaking field of sorts is actually one of the easier things to do. Like you can actually do that nowadays.
I'm
It's
sorry,
really expensive.
Shin.
Right.
It appears
And yeah,
that
the
my
basic
sister is
idea is that
calling
all
me
you have to
today.
really do is
Please
bend
wait a
light.
moment.
Alternatively, you take your cameras and responsive fabric. You basically photograph behind you and display it forward, and vice versa.
Right.
And either way works. But obviously, on a spaceship, that would be quite a bit more difficult, quite a bit more expensive.
Right.
Of course, they're on the run from the devils. Palette swap boys are awful in a way.
Also,
Speaking of palette swaps, though,
right. So, and of course, I was going to say also a good band name.
palette swapping.
Here
Hey,
we go.
Kid, come here a sec.
All right. Bug Angel.
Huh?
Thus far, the only Megane character in the game.
and who's evil, because of course.
Well, we don't know if he's evil. He's just kind of a jerk.
There's bare hostility. Yeah, I was kind of surprised the battle block is actually a place, apparently. But yeah, I thought the fights were all kind of a metaphysical kind of thing.
No, it's very physical.
Yeah. Didn't Link once lure me to a place like this to take my money?
Later on, he would tell everybody that he managed to steal God's lunch money.
What kind of business do you have with me?
What kind of business? Don't mess with me. You're the one, right? You're that woman's pawn.
And you're mixing God metaphors with chess
don't know
metaphors,
who
dude.
you're-
It's not going to work.
Don't
Also,
play
I
dumb
have to
with
say
me.
that the music direction is a little dodgy here. Like, the God chorus doesn't have to go on, while the tension is building.
God
I don't
chorus?
know any devils.
I swear to
God,
you.
you better quit it! Punching you a few times will help you remember.
The thought that it doesn't occur to him, somebody brand new to town might not actually know this, is kind of, yeah.
My, looks like you
That's
two
all
are
I could think
having
of
an
when I
interesting
saw this one. This is
conversation.
about the first
Mind if
Ben
I
played
join?
2 on to test it out. Was God, I didn't vote for you. It is a pretty epic smirk that she rocks. Raising his fist. You'll have to take our word for it because we didn't bother, getting
Yeah,
a separate.
He's raising his fist in a metaphorical sense.
What a funny sight. Not haha funny, but funny nonetheless.
Shut up!
Yeah, that was a line.
God.
God, I didn't vote for you.
God created by a devil? is no good
You know, I can actually get behind that. You know, if a devil makes God, I'm going to be a little bit iffy on the
There's no
proposition.
mistake
Right,
in
right.
that. It doesn't matter who created him.
Saying whatever you damn well please. You devil!
The only word I've heard you say for quite a while
We say quite a
is
few of them. We say
devil.
God, too.
It appears you angels are lacking when it comes to your vocabulary.
What'd you say?
Yeah, angels have 50 words for goodness.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
so
like-
disappointed when I found out that wasn't actually true.
Oh, 50 words was no.
And it would only have like 5 or 6. So, or something like that. It might have been like 10. But.
Right.
There's some great expressions that they have the freeze frame on there.
See, my biggest problem is that, they could have animated a few more expressions of the guy. Instead, he looks mildly disapproving. Even when he's supposed to be punching the daylights out of them or yelling at Arya.
Right,
things
right.
Like
What? Hey, kamikaze!
Hey!
that. With all the money they save from not voice acting or anything, you'd think they could have hired on the artist for a few more payments.
Yeah, every time I see one of these games that, basically these games, because the game design is so simplistic. You have the writing.
Or as always points out, gets hit in the face, grabs his waist.
Where you have a lot of the time and effort and money
Stay out of my way,
goes
kid!
into the writing, which I swear people are paid by the word for
Has to be.
for these scripts, yeah. And then you've got some music, which can range from very, very good to perfunctory, just good enough.
Right.
You kind of set the mood and everything. And
What are you doing?
yeah, there's never as much art as there needs to be. This one,
Yeah, to make it work.
right. It's like the Dynasty Warriors games, are about as
What are you
push
doing,
button,
Samuel?
get game, low budget fare as they come, with
Move,
recycling
kid.
engines and everything.
This ain't
And they
over.
still do, I think 6 to 8, portraits per character, in addition to a bunch of other variants and stuff like that.
And redesign the characters every time.
Right. And for something that pretty much nobody's ever going to care about,
Right.
especially for a bunch of very minor characters. Like there's ones that are pretty much there's like a bunch
Hold
of
it,
characters that are
Samuel.
pretty much only
Are you
for
all right, Sir Shin?
waifu husbando mode in
Yeah.
the bonus
well, I
games like
survived somehow.
Tonkatai and stuff like that. And it's like, and they
Seriously,
do
you act
full
too
different
rashly.
expressions
You're
and
lucky
lines
he
for
was
all of them.
barehanded.
Even though again,
What would have
99%
happened if
of
he
the
had a
people playing it
weapon?
are never going to see it.
Right.
And yet here you go, where
They
this
didn't
is all this
stick
game
it with
is,
most
and
It's like you
Yeah.
have 3 characters
Come on,
that
let
you
me
really
see
focus
that.
on. Surely you could work a little bit more.
right.
Also, Tonkatai. That is just not a word I can take seriously.
I don't even know what that translates to, but that's what it was called, in 7, I think it was. Yeah, if any of you stopped playing Dynasty
Did it
Warriors
stop?
at like 4, I think was the PS2 era, they've changed them quite a bit in the last couple.
Right.
Like I've actually thought about, I've seen a request for one of them come up on SA every now and again. It's like if I had the time,
I'm
I'd
sure
probably
I'm
want to
gonna
do
be
a
all
Let's
right.
Play 7 because I really like that one.
Hmm.
But
Why'd you
fine.
go and do something as stupid as protecting me?
Rules are for protecting. Anime taught me
I
so.
don't know. Probably because you protected me when that devil attacked.
How foolish.
Oh, what was that?
I did that
think
because I
that
didn't
trope called
want
"I
my
Protect You
research
Too."
subject to be destroyed.
Although I will
Say the
point
same
out that
thing.
that particular
Be
line
in trouble
doesn't
if you weren't
happen
around
if
in
you
terms
went
of
the other
our
route,
future.
because obviously she didn't protect you.
Right. Interesting.
I
I'm glad to
see.
see some, some
So you and
spillover,
I
or
share
I
the
guess
same fate.
follow through on
I
that.
guess you're
Right.
right.
Trickle down. A rising tide lifts all anime. Surprisingly cute.
This is...
It's a handkerchief.
Don't you know how to use a
Handkerchief.
handkerchief? You're covered in blood from the
Actually, I
nose
have heard
down.
that pronounced that
Hurry
way.
up and
I
wipe
would
it
say
off.
handkerchief for whatever reason.
It just makes you think of like hanker for chief or something. Like, well, we are in Missouri, Great, because when somebody may have their nose broken, you want to be very rough about trying to.
Remember, she's healed. She's healed that. She knows.
Oh,
it's
that's
not
true.
broken
That's
anymore.
true.
Good enough. We can't really do
Yeah,
much about the
that
blood
must
on
have
your
been
clothes,
what made
so
me, kind
just
of roll
deal
my
with
eyes at
that
the
when
scene
you feel
earlier.
like it.
Because if she had actually been there, she knows healing magic, that would make the scene even dumber.
Right.
But she wasn't actually there, so.
More importantly, to actually get a bloody nose from being punched by an angel is quite unprecedented. What a pathetic god.
And everybody's sad again. Yeah, that is really where the limited number of expressions comes back to bite them.
Right.
I don't think they're going for sad, but they couldn't keep the usual,
Just drop
expression or
it.
smirk, so it's
More
okay.
importantly,
Right.
The next closest
is what
thing.
that angel said earlier true?
Yeah, close enough.
Right.
How many times do I have to tell you? You are, without a doubt, God, created by my fate awakening crystal.
No, not that
No,
part.
no, the other
The fact
thing.
that you're a devil.
Superman. Wrong!
Oh, you didn't know?
Of course
Call
not.
somebody.
I never even imagined a devil would be in Celestia.
Yep, so that is the twist.
I suppose.
Twist, I say in
Which
finger quotes,
reminds me,
Lorax.
This is a
that she's
first
not an
for
angel
me
at
to have
all.
met
She's
someone
in
who
fact a
doesn't
devil.
know my
Yes.
origin story.
And in case you weren't prepared for it, buckle
Why
down,
don't you
because
tell me
now
something
that we
that
finished the
important yourself?
exposition about the angel, now we have exposition about Ariel.
Right.
I don't believe it's that
Good
important.
golly.
Then allow me to officially confess. I am actually a devil.
Pretty good delivery on that one,
Right.
at least.
So it's like when they actually have the good direction, especially Ariel's voice actress isn't bad.
She's good, yeah. She was really good as Rita.
So what do you think? My wings are as black as the pitch darkness. As you can see, I am actually
Actually.
a devil.
Lol.
Ariel is a devil. But why would a devil be in Celestia?
Miss Ariel
Oh, hi.
is in prison.
Yep, she's still here, in case you forgot.
In order to create God, to create the Fate Awakening Crystal, she was taken from the
Now, the
Netherworld
problem
as our
with that is that
prisoner.
if she created the Fate Awakening Crystal, she did say that she only knew about
Prison?
30% of
She sure
what's
doesn't
going
look
on.
or act like any
So it's
prisoner
kind of
I've
weird.
ever seen.
It is possible to create something that you don't understand.
Well, then,
Right.
It's just very unlikely.
Mhm.
I believe that those who possess rare talent
Yeah, that is kind
must
of
be
a
treated
kind of a
with
good
an
point.
appropriate level of
I guess you kind
status
of
and the
look at that as
utmost
something
courtesy.
analogous to like somebody coming up with some
That's
new
what I negotiated with Mariel.
like some new software or
exchange
something
for
maybe,
creating the
where
Fate
it's like it turns out to
Awakening
have all
crystal,
these new
I told
negative
her to gain
drawbacks when we
better
actually use it in
service.
practice. A lot of bugs and stuff like that.
Well, except that
That's
it's kind of the
not something
opposite.
one
That
can call
you try to create the
negotiations.
next line,
You gave
the
us
next
an
Linux,
ultimatum.
and it actually creates perpetual motion.
Don't even try to sound
I mean, yeah,
righteous.
technically
You're the ones who
speaking, it
abducted
could be
me from the
possible,
netherworld.
but it's just so
We're both just
unlikely.
looking out for
Maybe it's like
ourselves.
she created this particular crystal, but she only knows 30% of the the crystal resonance theory or whatever it was she called it.
Therefore,
Maybe.
I am on equal footing with angels. As long as I stay in this Celestia, I am free to go anywhere, and I can eat instant noodles.
Man, if I held an
But if you're
entire
a
like
devil,
country over
don't you
a
plan
barrel
to
like
kill me
that, I'd just
someday?
be wanting to get whatever I could have, like steak every day or something,
Huh?
or pizza every day.
Yeah,
Why would I want to kill you?
Why did Devil Attack Devil
it's true
Grill?
that
that
I
is
am
an
a
angel,
devil,
Lorax.
but I am also
You
not
missed
their
the
ally.
exposition, I take. Basically,
Many devils
the
seek to massacre
angel
all of the angels.
Zaluel, yeah.
However,
is
all of
quite
us think
miffed
alike.
that a
Just
devil
'cause
has
we're
created
devils
God.
doesn't mean we're monolithic.
And
I would be too, to be frank.
Right.
You know?
And
I
he wanted
just
to
wanna
express his
research the field of
displeasure
crystal.
by taking
not
Shin
interested in
aside
war.
into a back
I may
alley and taking his
protect
lunch
you,
money.
but
Oh wait, that was
I
another
don't
person.
intend to kill you.
Wanted to express his displeasure, and
Really?
when Ariel
I am offended by the fact that you
basically
doubt me
came
just
around
because I'm a
and
devil.
kind of taunted him a little
Didn't I
bit,
save your
he
life?
threw,
It's
he
fine if
lost
you
his
don't
temper
believe
and
me.
tried to punch her.
End of story.
Oh, the demon commander.
I'm sorry.
The demon commander was actually trying to kill Shin, and Ariel threw
More
herself
importantly,
in the way.
Let's get to the real
Yeah.
deal.
It's very
DB,
possible
regarding
that,
the
that he
performance
knows
test I
that
brought
she's
to
a devil
Mariel
and would
earlier,
not have
has
attacked
it
her,
not
but
been
she
decided
took
yet?
a hit for him.
Right.
But we don't know. It's possible that he might not even know that,
As
that
I
she's a
have said
devil
before,
because
it
she's
cannot be that
it doesn't look any
simple.
different if she's
At
with
the
all of the
very
other
least, there
evils
are
and
no
stuff.
candidates among the angels.
Yep, she is neither blue nor purple, so we can't possibly tell.
Right. Come to think of it, I'm thinking for a second. No, it's like not all the angels have a blonde hair. There's like that guy had like purplish,
And the palette swaps had brown and something
blue
else
and
too.
red
Yeah.
and stuff.
Talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah, there isn't even identification for hair.
Right.
I'm talking about how I want
And
to
if your hair color
sacrifice
won't
for
tell
the
you, then you're
performance
just completely out
test.
of luck in anime.
Yeah.
Sacrifice?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Now we have to have exposition about the three of them.
Right.
Okay.
So next time
Miss Ariel,
on not so awakened Fate Ultimatum on a sleep
On soporific Fate Ultimatum.
is that so? You're the one who offered that soul of yours.
Awakened
so I
Fate
thought all angels would gladly offer themselves for the sake of God.
It's funny because, I was playing
Her
this
soul?
earlier,
Mhm.
and, at the start I was like, obviously I don't know what I'm getting
I
myself
haven't
into.
explained that
All I
either,
know is the
huh?
basic premise,
In order
and
for
I've always
God
been a
to
fan of the God
descend,
games. Like,
you
Populous
need
is one of my
3
first PC games. I loved it.
sacrifices.
I always have, always will. So I'm like, okay, you're
One
playing as
human who
God.
has
You're
the
helping
potential,
angels against
one
devils.
angel and one
That
devil.
seems like a no-brainer.
Right.
Seems a very
Using
obvious
those
success.
as the
So let's go
axis
for
for the
it.
crystal and
And I'm
connecting
playing-
their souls.
Finger
the
quotes, playing through
singularity
it.
of the two powers
And I'm
can be
thinking, it's like,
generalized
okay,
and-
I had said earlier, when it comes in, I'll stream it.
Please make your
And,
lecture brief and to the
I'm
point.
as good as my word on that point. But I was asking myself, would I want to continue
But I was
streaming
just about to
this?
get
Right.
to the fun part.
And going through this has basically confirmed that unless there is a
Basically, as part
great
of the
public
ritual to
outcry
provide you with the
in
fate
favor of it,
awakening
I'm
crystal,
probably not.
Jupy
Right.
and I
Just
have
because there is
sacrificed half of our
so
souls to you.
much exposition
Right.
all
You're
the
right.
time. Like, I'm
No one
looking
told me
over,
anything about
it has
that.
been 2.5
Is it even okay for you to do
hours.
something
And that's
like that?
probably maybe 10 to 15 minutes worth of actual gameplay.
Right. Yeah,
It's
we've
only
gotten
about
through
half,
3
So
dungeons.
there's no problem.
The tutorial one was like 2
If it
minutes.
was the
Yeah.
initial version of the crystal, we would have needed to offer
So yeah,
a
it's like,
sacrifice,
I'm kind of okay with visual novel type games. I'm
As a
obviously
result of
being a writer, I
countless
kind of go for it.
improvements,
Right.
We were
But
able
as
to
a stream
create
thing,
it
it's
so
like,
that it
you
only
know,
needs to be half a
This
soul.
is a lot to sit through. Like, if
don't
I'm not
get it.
careful, there could
Aren't
be a
souls
point
supposed to be really
where I would
important?
have an entire
might
stream
affect
where
your life? To
I
actually offer it
turn it
so
on, I hit
easily.
L1 for the auto scroll, and I just sit back and read for 2 hours.
It's
Or
not
people
like
still
I
play.
intended
People
to
still
simply
stream Metal Gear
offer
Solid
it.
games. That's kind of what they're up
Jupy
to
and I
now.
both need
Lorax makes you watch all this,
conclusions
say you
to
want
go
to
through
stream
with
more. Well, like I said, Lorax, if you really want
Patience with your lives.
this to continue on, let me know.
Of course
Yeah, it-
Buckle in. We will go through this together.
If there is interest, yeah.
Right.
No,
I've made sure to
my thing,
implement
my
safety
thought on this
measures.
one is that it's possible to
This
get
is something
people
we ourselves
engaged in
were
these kind of
determined to
games.
do.
Right.
The
There's
problem
no
is
need for
when
you
you're
to feel
focusing so
anxious.
much on exposition, and there's so much background stuff. Like basically none of this matters to the plot going forward. This whole thing is about how like this backstory with the crystal to make the whole waifu setup be more important.
Right.
It's like you have a part of their soul. That's how this whole thing works.
Yeah.
That's the connection and stuff like that. That's all this is establishing.
Right.
And it took them like 10 minutes to do it.
Yeah. Also, Lorax said it's better than RE0.
Oh, snap.
Strike that from the record. We are doing nothing together. Get out. No.
Lorax,
I'm a little
Lorax
miffed,
loves
but-
you. Slam a jam.
Well, anyway.
That said,
back to what we
Lorax,
were
you
talking
know,
about.
if you think it's better than
Droopy, I don't
RE0,
really mind
again,
if it's a
you know,
devil.
I'm
We sure
calling
took
you
the
out
Demon
to the
Commander
squared
last
circle.
time, right?
You know, you come here next Sunday, same time, same place. We'll go through this exposition together until you are
It would be
begging for more
troublesome
Billy
if
and
we were to go
Rebecca.
on.
Just you
Use those
wait.
elaborate
That's true. There is another run of Leech Hunter mode we can do.
I don't mind waiting until after you're done
Oh my
interrogating
gosh.
him.
But no, it's
How
like
about that?
it's like if there was something that we could, you know, sink our
I
teeth
cannot
into
really say
and
anything
talk about and
definitive.
care about, like
Please
if we
wait for my
played, you know,
sister's
just off the top of my head here, if we played like Planescape Torment
You sure
or
are
Final
a
Fantasy
yes man
Tactics or
for your
something like
sister.
that, we could also
It was
have
stupid of me
a
to even
episode
ask.
or a stream
I
with
shall
like
talk to
one
Mary
fight that would
directly.
be like, you know, 10, 20 minutes or whatever,
Right.
then an hour of talk.
So this
But we
kind
could
of
still at least
situation
have
is the
fun and
reason
talk
we
about it
weren't
because
getting
there's so
along
much
with
going
our
on in those
huh?
games that pulls you into them and you can talk about.
Right.
Like, yeah, I remember we had lots
Miss Ariel
of
is a
debates,
devil.
you know, well, not debates,
She
debates,
ruthlessly
but just lots of
negotiated a
fun
deal with
talking
my
about
sister
Evil East
in
and that whole
exchange for
thing with
developing
the
Fate
Fane of
Awakening
Tactics,
crystal
you
technology.
know, back in the day. and hey, Bear, and
Normally,
Bear
we
says
would
something.
never
We talked
have
about the
made
fonts
such a
earlier.
deal.
It's like, yeah, he can suffer
However,
exposition,
we
cannot
angels
suffer
are at
messed up
such an
kerning.
overwhelming
Yeah.
disadvantage
I'll be,
in the
you know,
war.
I'll put on the dunce
We had
cap.
to
Font
compromise.
kerning.
Kerning is basically the term
So
for
that's
whenever
the
you
reason
adjust
Celestia's
the
running
width
around
between
using stealth
letters.
technology.
Yeah, letting is basically the difference between on height and kerning is the width.
Ah, okay.
Devils
Yeah.
rely on
So
their
whenever
powerful
they're wanting
magic
to
during their
have,
attacks.
whenever they're wanting to try to
If
fix
we were
things
to
to a
clash
row,
head-on,
they'll adjust
we
the
would have
kerning,
no chance
and
of
sometimes it does
winning.
not look good.
Ah, interesting. Oh, like for that if with the
Yeah,
I
but
and
you see, like,
so
Highly
far.
Yeah, you can see like how closely
We have
together,
no
though it's
choice
packed
but
and
to
Right.
launch
regrettable is always
surprise
spaced
attacks
out.
against
Yeah.
the
Yeah, it's
hidden
just-
Gotcha,
positions.
gotcha.
Yeah, it's that right.
For people like us,
But yeah,
Shin,
just if there was
your
more
existence, the
there,
existence of God,
you know.
is something that we desperately
Also, it
need.
looks like my hue settings on
The Fate Awakening
Game
crystal
Capture
that Miss
HD are a
Ariel
little
created
off.
controls the fate
You know,
of Celestia.
her outfit is more of a
Therefore-
powder blue, and this looks like more of a light blue.
Therefore, you can't
in
deny
the
our
video.
religion.
I'll adjust that for next time. It's not off by much. You know, I'll
That is
adjust that.
correct. The fact that so many
I
angels
did actually did the
dissatisfied with our
color
current situation
balancing.
is
Hold on.
unfortunately
I
out of
need
our
to point
hands.
out. We are now shifting exposition
And that angel
to
from
the
earlier was
angel
only one
feeling
of the
about
representatives, huh?
the creation of God
Basically,
and
I
things
just
like
got dragged
that.
Right.
into the middle
So
of
we
a
have had
dispute.
4 or 5 different exposition switches without anything happening,
He's
including
probably
only one
not the
background
only one
change.
who
Right.
would take action.
That's why
I
I'm
should
just
try to
trying.
pay
I'm trying to think of
more
something
attention, but please be
to
very
talk
careful yourself.
about.
Lawrence keeps noticing how the G is a little higher than the other letters. It's true. It's true.
Right.
All right, you were saying something else.
But yeah. What was I?
Planescape Torment
Yeah.
is getting people.
No, well, no, that was a different
Yeah.
one. But yeah, for when I did the color balancing, I was playing Dark Souls, of course, as I am wont to do, and I was matching up the red on the gauges for something, you know, to try to make it look red enough because the default settings was kind of a purple. And it looks like I'm just a little off still, but you know, it's close.
And yeah, Lorax is actually anything that would normally go beneath the line, like the P's
Now
are the
then,
same line.
Sir Shin, let
Yeah.
us return to the plaza.
And Bear was surprised that the game has full English voice acting, considering they didn't fix that font bug.
Not
Right.
quite full. There are several segments where there isn't, generally in dungeons.
Must be God.
Oh, right, more exposition, because now we need to introduce this girl.
But yeah, not full. Basically, it's I think all
As
of
long as it's the
these-
visual novel,
Yeah.
it's voiced. When it's actually a game, it's not.
right. Yeah, whenever we switch to the actual roguelike gameplay parts, none of it's voiced. It's very odd. Shy-looking angel. Not that you could tell with her hair over her eyes like that.
Well, she's very shy. She uses her hair as a shield.
I'm sorry. I must be bothering you.
And it's sad because I was wanting
terribly
to say something
sorry.
else and I've forgotten what it was.
I've never seen her before, but she's never seen me or anything. She has no eyes.
Just like the Devils, you know, they just kind of, you do echolocation.
Right.
Right. They haven't cut voice acting compared to the Japanese version. That's correct.
I don't believe so. Yeah, despite mentioning it earlier, we haven't actually played the
No,
JP version.
I'm sorry.
You know,
It's
I'm
not
kind of
like
curious
that.
about it because
Just
we
had a
were
lot of
talking
little
earlier
things to think
about how a lot of times the expressions that the characters have
Melia,
doesn't really sync up
do you
with the
have some
vocal
business
delivery.
with God?
You know, it's like Jupiel in particular smiles
Yes.
and seems to be very happy sometimes, but it's not really
I wanted
reflected.
to give this to God.
With the line read. It's kind of like, was that the case before, or
Also, I have to point out, I think she is confused as Shin with Santa Claus and giving him a letter.
We remember in Bruce Almighty where they have set, like the prayers are kind of presented as email to God, right?
Well, originally, I did love that scene. It's like, let it be in the form of post-it notes. Let it be in the form of file cabinets. Boom! Yahweh!
Yeah, that was it.
Yep. Sees the doubt on my face. Lies! She sees nothing.
Dear God, please give me eyes.
That's true. God can open the eyes of the blind. There's nothing in there about giving eyes to those who have none. This is a miracle that might be a little beyond him.
Well, I know in the King James Version it was those who could not see.
Oh,
So it could
true.
be- yeah.
He's watching you fight, Lord.
That's it. When he mixed the spit and clay and rubbed it in, it was actually making eyes. Ah.
Yeah. You say that.
What am I supposed to do with that?
He was blushing for that one. That was
I am
cool.
sorry for
So
being
cute.
so sudden. Please excuse me.
Well,
Meliel has a fragile body, so she is usually in charge of rear support. Since the last battle was so sudden, she must have been ordered to move
I
up.
blame Vlorax for this, but yeah, when they say in charge of rear support,
That's when she saw me.
it's kind of like the whole rear admiral thing. And so,
Right. Yeah, but for 12-year-olds, watching a movie with rear admirals and poop decks has got to be the.
Let us go, Sir Shin. Until
Yep.
we decide what to do next, please rest up.
But none of us are 12 here, right?
I knew, yeah, Lorax. we were like,
Laura's looking the same.
oh gosh, we have more exposition. Ah!
It has now been 25 minutes since Ben said, "Hey, one more dungeon, guys."
One more dungeon. I swear, guys, the scene coming up, it's worth something.
Cheer up, Shin Kamikaze.
Only a divine wind would smash down the
I'll wait
exposition
until after
and
I
move
hear
to the
what
next
you have to say
dungeon.
before I decide whether or not
I have to admit, yeah, my leg is starting to ache from how much I'm carrying this stream.
You're about to undergo
God.
a performance test. We've gotten approval to use the demon commander you captured as a sacrifice
Yay.
for the test.
Okay, this is the last bit of exposition. I remember this.
And you want to stop streaming this game? How dare us?
So,
At
you
long
have
last,
given my
have
sister
you no
another
shame?
ultimatum.
Bear, we should clarify. 25 minutes since I said,
Don't go telling people I'm
one
the
more
bad
battle.
one
That was
here.
about another
All I did
25
was
odd
beg for a
minutes or
little.
half an hour
He'll
before
be here
that.
soon.
Let's just say OBS is showing up at 2 hours 40 minutes. We've had about, I'd say, maybe 15 minutes of gameplay.
We're not even exaggerating on that point either. But yes, we see the exit sign. This
You don't
turn.
need to
This is the
sacrifice
one we
someone just
take.
for a performance test.
And yeah, we
You
made
must
a
have got
joke
a lot of
about
data during the attack the other day.
about the exposition in these scenes, and Ben was like, "Oh, so what do you do? Kind of queue up the
don't
dialogue,
get
put
it.
your controller down and go
That was
read a
just a
book." It's like,
normal
yeah, people
battle.
stream Metal Gear Solid.
You merely
That's what
use
they're up
what
to
a
now.
fraction
So
of God's power. I'll show you.
you
the
gotta watch a
true
movie before the
power
game
you've
actually starts.
obtained.
And yeah, it's not that I mind exposition. Gameplay is
It's
overrated.
overrated.
That's right. I prefer not to think of this as a game. I prefer to think of it as interactive art. Minimalist interactive art. The less you interact with it, the more artistic it is.
Devils must have some pretty crazy metabolism for him to look, starving to death after, they held him for one night. Laura was saying the gameplay in this one actually reminds me of the gameplay in Deadly Premonition, an afterthought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It actually is kind of the case where it's like, if they took out the
So
gameplay
you finally
entirely
come. I
and
was
just
tired of
replaced it with
waiting.
the visual novel
All right,
multiple
Kamikaze,
choice answer
Go
thing,
inside this one.
you would never notice the difference.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah,
What?
it's
Go
very
inside?
clear, and
What do you
it's
mean
like
by
it's
that?
not even. Now, normally I'll do the faux cynical thing
Miss Ariel,
and make fun
your
of it,
explanation
but it is
far too
very
abridged.
much clear to me, in my opinion anyway,
Oh,
that
sorry.
Nippon
I
Ichi
couldn't help
wanted to
getting
sell the
excited
game
at
at
the
full
thought of
price
finally getting to run the
to the
performance
nerds that they're
testing.
kind of having, nerds and shut-ins they're kind of basing Shin on. And the only
Allow
way
me
to
to give
the
you
only
a
way to
simple
get money out of that
explanation,
one is to do a
Kamikaze.
console release. The
You
only way to
will
do
be
that
entering
is to actually
this
make it
devil's
an actual game.
consciousness.
Right.
If they could have popped it on Steam
Enter
or
someone's
some
consciousness.
some other site with
I didn't know that was
no
even
gameplay at
possible.
all really, and probably still gotten a couple bucks per copy, but it would not
You are
have
God after
worked as
all.
well.
If you feel like it,
And,
you can even interfere
yeah.
with fate.
The deal with Deadly Premonition, for any of you that have,
I
anybody
can
that's
change
hearing
people's
this and hasn't
fate?
played it, is that one where was originally that was
However,
that was
this
Suda,
time
right?
around,
Suda 51.
you don't have to go
I
that
don't
far.
believe
Or-
so, actually.
Just
or whoever it
obtaining
was, yeah.
information
Yeah,
will be enough.
the idea with that one was to make it a weird Twin Peaks detective style thing. In order to actually make it, sell, added this I think probably classic Resident Evil would be the way to put it.
Mhm.
Style gameplay where
There's
you
no need
shoot
to
at
worry.
weird
You've
weird
already
enemies,
experienced it before.
and it did not work very well.
Of course, there are many things with Deadly Premonition that
Do
didn't
you
work.
not remember,
Right.
Sir Shin?
Yeah, that
Before you
really
awoke
is
in
pretty much the
Celestia,
ultimate,
you should have
love or hate
already
it kind of
experienced
game.
a strange
If,
world.
if you buy into the quirkiness of it and forgive the rest of it, then
Oh.
that's not a quirkiness, but a
Is
weird
it that
kind of
world
horror
that
near
looks
the
like
end
it's
too.
inside a dream?
If you buy into it, then you'll love it,
Right.
and if you don't,
That is
then
correct.
I will admit
That is
that
the
the
conscious
thing that
world.
kind
With
of
the power of the fate
emphasized to
awakening
me
crystal,
how weird Deadly
you can
Premonition
enter
was
other people's
was when I
consciousness.
was listening and talking to a person, a friend of mine who was
what do I
playing
need to
it,
do?
and she was doing the fishing mini game.
Concentrate
And no
on
joke,
wanting
she
to enter
fished,
this
I think,
guy's
coffee out of the
consciousness.
river and then
That's
drank
all.
it.
Mhm.
It's like, wait a minute, wait. At that point, it's like, really?
Right.
That's what I said. All you gotta do is try your best, and you can slip right in.
Thank God, sure sounds pretty half-assed.
Oh dear.
All
That was
gods
an
are pretty
awkward place for us to
no matter
pause.
which
I
world
admit.
they're from. Now come on, try
What's a
it.
joke like it's was it a
Fine.
whatever commercial that was for? It's people trying to yelling over a dance or a rave to hear themselves, and then suddenly everybody gets quiet as he says something incredibly embarrassing.
Right,
It's like,
right. I agree, Bear. I wouldn't drink coffee I fish from a river personally. Although I think, to be honest, if I fished up a coffee cup from the river and the coffee is still there, that is an ordinary coffee right there, and I'd totally go for it.
Right.
So this is the conscious
And
world.
if I start start feeling poorly,
That's
I'll
right.
heal myself with
This
a med
world
kit that I
was built
fished
from
out of the
that
river.
devil's mental
No,
theory and
seriously.
consciousness. In crystal energetics, we call it the spirit world.
Crystal.
All right, we have
You
to briefly
surprised me.
exposit about the spirit world before we can continue on.
And you
This is Crystal
I'm not the
Energetics
only one who went
101.
Right.
Because we share the
She
same
wrote a
soul as you,
dissertation on
Sir
it.
Shin. Depending on the setting, we can also join you inside the spirit world.
Awakened Double Entendre Ultimatum.
Well, to be precise,
He started it,
you're
Lorax.
the
And
only
yes,
one who can
P-Bug, the
interfere.
anime has been unleashed.
Oh yes.
It has run rampant for the past 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Simple. All you have to do is go through the dungeon
Oh,
that
what
appears
dungeon?
It's
Finally!
basically the
I'm
same as
telling you,
Phantasma,
seriously, this is
essentially.
the end exposition. We're on the off ramp. We're almost there.
Investigate whether
we
this
have had
demon
people in the
commander
people in the
has
stream
hidden
for a little
any
while now that
important
haven't actually seen
information.
gameplay.
That is the goal of this experiment.
Yeah, you all may not know, this is actually a game with actual
So you
gameplay.
seek to
I
take
swear
advantage
to
of the fact that
Shin,
my
it
sister
is.
and others
Yeah, we are not
are
going through our
unable to
friend
do anything
Ven's
from their
visual novel
intelligence.
archive on Steam, to
How
grinding up
typical.
easy achievements and grand trading cards,
So are you ready, Kamikaze? As for your performance
Oh, but yeah,
test,
Bear has yet to see
you will
someone
be
run to
searching
school with
for
toast in their mouth.
important
Mhm.
information
Yeah,
within
we
his
left
consciousness.
school behind right at the start of the game.
Yeah.
Please wait.
It makes
is
this
my
7
duty to
animes out of
support
10.
Sir Shin. Please do not attempt to take the
Well,
lead
give
by
it time. We
issuing
can squeeze more
orders.
anime in there.
Why not? After all, this is my experiment. If I don't support him, who will?
As I already declared, that would be me. I am God's exclusively assigned angel.
She's
so
not the type
I
of
shall
guy to
be
go
the one
exclusive, you know.
support Sir Shin.
What a whiny girl. It seems like you won't let me hold the initiative
Oh,
no matter
roll initiative. What?
Fine then. Unlike you, I'm
I do
an adult.
kind of wonder how
I'll
old they're
leave
actually
the
supposed to
annoying
be.
job of support to
Just like where
Julie
they're,
so that I can
thousands of
focus
years
on
old
observing
and
you.
or is they pretty much just typical
So-
human age.
Right.
That is basically it. Sir
Yeah, they
Shin, are
mentioned
you
that
ready?
Jupiel is young, but
Whenever you
Yeah,
are.
how is that relatively
Right.
speaking?
Then I shall pray
Seems
for
to
like-
whom do you
good
pray,
fortune
madam?
and
To whom do you pray?
It seems like she just kind of elbowed
That is we'll
Ariel
see.
out of the way since we've got more points with her.
Yeah, which would be kind of weird if that's the case.
Yeah, well, last time Ben did this dungeon, Ariel was on mission support.
Right, I'm going to want to equip that.
Mhm.
His daggers are actually better than ranged spears.
Remember, as you're bouncing along to the beat, to throw the dagger. Did you know you could throw it and hit enemies in the distance?
That's nothing compared to the daggers I just shot at Wayne. Okay, item boost. Can I item boost the dagger? I can. Which doesn't do anything, but sure, let's go for
It
it.
will let you hit enemies immune to non-magical weapons.
Ah.
Yeah, I got my energy back. Something's about to something's almost about to happen. You know?
I'd better put a stop to that right now.
I do love how you actually throw medicine at enemies to debuff them.
Yep, you can do so. Okay, we're saving so we don't have to do that again.
Oh gosh.
See, look, there's save points and everything. It's totally a game. Ah.
Yeah, I believe you.